Hey gang, today I wanted to take you through my process for a heavy metal minimalist style Blood Angel. I'll make more for other legions, chapters, and factions, covering theory like lighting and composition as well. So step 1, base coats. For the red areas, I'm using Wyvern Fury from the Army Painter. If you prefer Warhammer brand paint, then Screamer Pink is the most similar. If you want to have less of a pink or scarlet endpoint, you could use a more orange-toned base like an ochre instead. I tried to use a color here that will give a bit of color to the Null Noil wash that we will do over the top. This is so I don't have to use a dark red shade for red bits and need to use other colored shades for not red bits. I can just use Null Noil all over and have a tint underneath to color it as needed. This layer doesn't need to be perfect, but try and make the coverage uniform. This will help in step 3 as patchy base coats may show through the top coat later. If you wanted to be pedantic, then you can do the Null Noil in just the places you want it to stay, but I find just a full dunk helps with a full in-depth coverage for deeper shadows and speed. I know Blood Angels have red trim, but since I did gold for the Ultramarines, I wanted to show another color metal in this video. So for the silver areas, I'm using the Warhammer brand Leadbelcher. This is a kind of dark silver, and you can use something like AK's gunmetal to work well instead. Try and keep this neat to the bits that you want silver, as the shiny will show through the Null Noil, so if you get silver in a red shadow, it might be a bit noticeable. For the red, I used a darker reddish pink, so in the Null Noil over the top, it will look a little more purple. And on the silver, we can just use progressively brighter shades of silver, unlike how we did the gold in the Ultramarine video. The aim is to create that value distance with color and tone, so armor panels and segments like trim are all separated out, so when they're on the tabletop you can still see the definition and details of the mini at a distance. Step 2. Null Noil. This bit does not need to be careful, just slop it on, puddle it in the edges and recesses for darker shadows, and try and do entire panels in a few strokes, otherwise you may get tide lines as it dries. While this dries, make a cup of tea and think about how you are inferior to people who like chapters with a living Primarch. Like this video, subscribe, and potentially become a channel member to get exclusive channels in my Discord where I post photos of my kitten and take requests for tutorials to make. I also stream painting on here and Twitch if you want to hang out and ask questions or watch me be bad at Space Marine 2 or Darktide. Step 3. Top coats. For the red areas, I'm using Pure Red by the Army Painter. The Warhammer brand Evil Sun Scarlet is a decent alternative. You want to pick a nice saturated color for this layer, as it will be the majority of the finished mini, as it is only highlights after this. On pieces like the pauldron with trim, these are the inside corners for the red. I leave about a 1mm gap between my top coat red and the corner crease so I can have a dark outline and separate the bright red from the trim a little bit more. For the base coat, I didn't water down my paint beyond making it easy to slap on. For these top coats, I've added a little bit extra water so I can just move it easier on the mini to create the shape I wanted before going back over with a thicker coat to concrete it in. If you do a couple of thin layers, leaving the coverage kind of patchy and uneven, this can look more battle-worn, and you can use those brushstroke lines and patchinesses to help plan out any weathering or battle damage you want to add. I don't really do battle damage, and this isn't a tutorial for that, so I'm just doing a kind of thick and keeping it uniform, kind of flat looking layer. I just prefer it looking super new and clean. Be most careful in the recessed armor, such as on his arm, under his elbow, and the wrist plate, to not get any bright red on the perpendicular sides of the elbow and the wrist extruded surfaces. I'm still trying to keep that 1mm border on the inside corners, but don't worry too much where the gap gets too thin, as long as those perpendicular sides stay clean and dark. For the silver top coat, I'm using Warhammer brand Runefang steel. The AK natural steel is a good alternate. This trim only has outside corners, so this means the panel reaches a cliff rather than a wall. Keep the sides of the trim the dark shaded color. It's hard to fix this if you spill over, as it is that base color plus Null Noil. I recommend to pick a plane to be the top, and then keep perpendicular sides dark over the whole mini. If you want to have some extra depth, you can leave any down or backwards facing surfaces with not top coat, and to use the top coat color as highlights as per step 4 on those faces. Step 4. Highlights. On the red, I'm using Barbarian Flesh by the Army Painter. The Warhammer branded Cadian flesh tone is probably your closest match otherwise. Another alternate is using something like Lava Orange or Fire Dragon Bright if you're going for a more orange finish. Here, I'm essentially outlining all my top coat red with outside edges, or like on this elbow panel, a sculpted edge in the middle of an entirely top-coated section. Because we're doing these over the top coat, if you make a mess, we can go over this later with some more top coat to fix things. Again, try and not slip onto the dark areas, as this will be harder to fix. If you want more depth, only do these edge lines on front and top facing edges, but I would only recommend this if you also did this with the top coat as well. Otherwise, go all over and edge up all of those cliff edges. I tend to water down my paint a bit for this, just so I can use a smaller brush so the paint doesn't dry before I put it on the Mini. If you find the edges to look too pale, mix in some of the top coat color until you find a shade you're happy with. Adding more top coat will lead to more subtle edges, which can be nice if you then use an unmixed highlight paint to do some dot highlights on the corners of the edge highlights. To bring up these highlights, as they are only on the top coat, you can carefully straighten up any wonky highlight lines, make the highlight lines thinner, and fix any mistakes that you've made. This is probably the bit that took the longest, as I wanted to be careful to not have to redo highlights, and to get the thinness of edge lines that I wanted. If you do the highlights perfect first time, then maybe you don't need to do this, but because I knew I could just fix them up afterwards with more top coat, I'm a little bit sloppy with my pale lines than I could have been. I just go in with my little insane detail brush from Army Painter and use the side of my brush for those cliff edges. If you're doing an entire army like this, then I probably wouldn't recommend sub-assembling like this, but it does help. If you're going into a fully built glued Mini, only do step 3 onwards on bits that you can reach. This will by accident make a nice shadowed area behind guns and under arms that will make him look a little more dramatic and lit. With sub-assembly, you can get every surface to look flat and uniform with lighting, so ending with a little more cartoony or classic heavy metal result. The only difference this will have to actual heavy metal styling is not doing the highlight lines on the plate surface of the shoulders and knees. This is just personal preference, I don't like how it looks, so I just don't do it. Then on the silver, I'm using Stormhost Silver by Warhammer, or you can use AK Natural Steel as the alternate. For metallics, I tend to pick outer edges or corners to highlight, and then a secondary bright spot if I feel like the vibe is right for it. Try and feather out these highlight spots, as metallics are pretty forgiving, but sharp transitions can stick out in the wrong lighting. The rest of the owl. From this video, learn the things and put it to use on the rest of the Mini. This style is good for quick, consistent minis that look good with only a handful of paints. In total, this arm took me about 15-20 minutes, not including the Nuln Oil drying tea break. If I was doing the whole Mini at once, I doubt it would be much longer than that, as it is very simple, and you would be doing the whole Mini all at once rather than just a single arm. This is my fully finished Infernus Blood Angel in this style with all his markings free-handed on. You can see on this one I did use the more subtle edge highlight and only on top and front facing surfaces. I did redo the trim to be red, and I gave him a nice lore-accurate blue helmet that I seem to have missed doing the highlights on. Here's a list of all the things I used in this video. And I'll make more videos for the lenses, various guns, and freehanding hacks, so don't panic if yours doesn't look like mine. I don't tend to use transfers, but I can cover those in a video as well if needed. As always, thanks for watching. Check out my other hobby content or my dumbass gaming content on the main channel. Like, sub, leave a comment how you got on, Discord in the description, and see ya.